This is a very popular psychology book, and I've recommended it to a lot of my clients, toxic parents. And it's not to smash the parents. There's no perfected parent. There's going to be something you find and be like, my father did that. That is not why we're doing this. We're doing this to understand the saṁskāras that got put into us in our childhood that we're still acting on. And reading it in a group will be very powerful. So the first group is Thursday, May 8th. And we'll read it as long as it takes. It may be quite a few months. I'm not going to rush through it. If you get the book in advance, you can already start going through it. There's even some quizzes in there, how to assess certain things. I think they're towards the back. There's personal stories of people's stories. And so we're going to analyze those, and we'll see kind of what comes up to identify when you start hearing other people's stories about how their parents were, And then I'm going to make my commentary just on the fly, live, as we're reading the sections, because I've been a psychologist for a long time. So I'm going to say my point of view from a psychology point of view, like if that was my client, what I would say or do, my analysis of it, as well as the Vedic psychology analysis. Okay, look at what this person's ahankara is doing, or I'm guessing they must have had a saṁskāra like this, that's why they're acting like this. So it's going to be very flowing, intuitive. I'm not going to have like a PowerPoint or anything. And I'll be reading it with you guys. So it's just going to be intuitively what comes up. It's the same thing as with this book. But you're going to hear, the inside point of view, at least on my commentary as a psychologist, what I'm thinking, which is, I think, a unique way to understand the mind. Hearing other people's stories related to psychology, but not my stories, It's different when we analyze a third-party stories. It's not about Babaji, it's not about me, and it's a lot of different people's stories in here. Just short excerpts explaining kind of what happened in their childhood, and as an adult, how they're showing up in life. And then we can trace it back and go, oh, of course they're acting like that because this happened in the childhood. It's very interesting. Okay? But what this group is a therapy group. Okay, so I'm going to draw a boundary when people start saying, well, my father abused me, here's what he did. That we're not getting into. It's not appropriate, and I can't provide you the support that you'll need if you share something like that. When you expose yourself like that, it's very triggering for the person exposing it, for other people in the group. So we're going to shy away from that. I would suggest, if you decide to join this and have the book, if you don't already have a therapy in place, get some therapist in place if you think you have some issues related to parents. Get ready to go. So then we'll talk about things in the group, and things will get stirred up. But in the group, we're analyzing the person and the story, Here, it wasn't such heavy things, so people would say, oh, I remember this about Babaji, or they'd share something personal about their ahankara. That I'm going to steer away from, because this can get really triggering really fast, even just reading other people's stories. So it's more like we're going to put on our analyst hats, and we're going to analyze, okay? We're going to analyze the people in the book, and I'll explain ahankara and all that, and it will still be emotional, and things will come up. And so just prepare yourself, for the support you need outside of the group for that, okay? What I realize is that I want to offer basic psychology concepts, because the Vedic psychology is very deep, and it's about ahankara, but most people haven't read this book, and this is a foundation. This is before you could even get to our e-courses. You'll understand our e-courses differently, for example, if you've already read this and gone through it. You'll understand what I'm saying in the study group, and what I'm saying in the other groups, what I'm saying in your individual sessions, if this is your foundation. And many clients I've referred to this book, but they just read it on their own. We're not going to sit there and read it together. So I figured, okay, this is a really good way to help a lot of people, and it's something that doesn't matter if you're a devotee or not. You might want to invite your friend, your sister, your brother, your uncle, any person who wants to understand more about their childhood and how it's affecting them as an adult. This could be helpful. Okay? And I have a feeling it'll go probably a year. It's a lot of pages and a lot of depth. So it's going to be on Thursdays at 9 a.m. U.S. time, 9 a.m. Boston time, 6:30 our time, 6:30 to 7:30 on Thursdays. You can join on Zoom,